Hi, and welcome to this session, Simple Strategies for Stress. My name is Greg Berdulis. You may have seen that there's a PDF that you can print out and follow along as we do this together, or you can wait and print it out later as a reminder for the steps that we'll follow today. The first thing I'd like to bring our attention to is the fact that stress is normal. Our bodies are made to feel stress and release it. The same is true of other creatures. Here's where the human being is different. We can sustain our stress with our thoughts. Other animals don't do that. This is one of the difficulties that human beings experience because of our ability to manipulate our mind, to create mental processes that, at least in this case, make our experience worse. When we see that some of our stress is caused by our own thinking, then that gives a glimmer of hope, because now you've got some leverage on how much stress you experience and how to reduce its negative impact. There's a lot of power here, and that's what these simple strategies are about, helping us claim the power and utilize it to our own benefit. By the way, when I say your benefit, I am not talking about just you. Because it's likely you've already noticed that when you do not feel stressed, it is way easier for you to be happy and generous and kind and forgiving and humorous. And when you are stressed, it's way too easy to be short and curt and mean and impatient and blame others for your frustration and your irritation. Whew. So, I want to emphasize that you doing this work by yourself is not selfish, because as you progress in becoming less stressed, you offer a bigger and bigger gift to the world. So, one human being to another, thank you for reducing your stress, because you make our world better. All right. So here's the 5 steps to scan, which is really about going into your immediate experience of stress and establishing your power and your courage. The second step is about simplify. It helps to put your mind at ease to create a plan. The third is about soothing your nervous system. Help your body and mind settle down. The fourth is about sharing your experience, because a burden shared is a burden halved. And then the last is perhaps the most potent medicine you've got to deal with stress: sleep. All right, so let's get into it. So this scan, it's actually moving directly into the experience of stress, which is about the opposite direction of most of us most of the time. We move away from uncomfortable feelings. We try to numb it, or dull it, or drown it, deny it, negate it, ignore it. And usually not so helpful. So we're going to go straight at it, and this is how we'll do it. Please come into a posture that's as comfortable as you can manage. Let your hands be relaxed, and then close or half close your eyes. And take a few breaths now that are a little deeper and slower than normal. Yeah. Okay. So what I'd like you to do now is to bring to mind a situation that is mildly stressful to you. On a scale of 0 to 10, this is like a 3 or a 4, maximum 5 on the intensity scale. Good. Now what I want you to do is notice what's happening in your body. while you intensify your thinking about the situation. So clearly see it in your mind's eye. Include the other people involved. Notice if there are any words that accompany the visual image. And now shift your focus to your body. What is the location of the sensation of stress? You may notice more than one. For now, just pick the biggest one or the loudest one. And get clear on the location. And now bring to mind the different attributes or qualities of that sensation. Is it hard or soft? Are the edges sharp or rounded or diffuse? About how big is it? If it had a color, what would it be? So for now, I'd like you to give half your attention to the sensation of stress and half of your attention to me. So what's happening here is that you are proving that you can bear the discomfort of stress. You don't have to run from it. You don't have to hide from it. You don't have to numb it or drown it or ignore it. You do have the capacity to be with stress as it is. This gives you a sense of perspective and courage and power. This stress doesn't overwhelm you or overcome you. You are the one in power here. Okay. Let your eyes come open if they've been closed and bring your attention back to the screen. This practice goes directly to what is difficult about stress. The uncomfortable physical sensations that go along with stress. Ugh, not comfortable, not pleasant. But you have just proved to yourself you've got the power and the courage to face it instead of resist it, run away from it, or whatever you usually do, instead of be with the experience just as it is. Okay, here's what we do next. Simplify. So what I'd like you to do is imagine taking a step back in your mind so you can get a vision of the whole situation and then answer these questions. In terms of your actions, what can wait? What needs to be done soon? And what needs to be done immediately? So if you've got a piece of paper and a pen, would you write down your current answers? What can wait? What needs to be done soon? What needs doing immediately? You're welcome to pause the video while you do that writing and thinking and strategizing. Once we have a plan, it has the effect of giving us some sense of control over the situation because we know what we can do and we know the order in which we do it. That is reassuring. That calms down the mind. There's value in having a calm mind. Okay, that's simplify. And the third piece is to soothe. I'm talking here about using your capacity to soothe your own nervous system. Would you once again come to a posture where you can give your best attention without moving around very much? And then put your hands over that part of the body where you felt stress the most. Some people have hands over the solar plexus. Some people over their belly and their heart. Some people have hands over their jaw muscles. And some people have at least one hand over the back of their neck. What matters is that you are touching as closely as you can the general area in your body where you notice the stress. Close or half close your eyes. And slow and deepen your breaths. And check if you can feel the hands move because of your breathing. Notice if your body is relaxing. Okay, let your breathing return to normal and shift the position of your hands or arms if you need to be a little more comfortable. So for the next few breaths, I want you to say something to yourself. As you inhale, whisper, "I calm my body." As you exhale, whisper, "I smile." I calm my body. I smile. I calm my body. I smile. Yeah. Okay, good. Now, I'd like you to change the words. As you inhale, you say, "This is okay." As you exhale, you say, "I am okay." This is okay. I am okay. Opening deeply enough to let the message in. Let yourself feel okay. Good. Now take a slow, deep breath in. Hold your breath at the top of the inhalation for a long moment while you imagine every single cell of your body can absorb into it the calm from this practice. And then when you're ready, let the breath go with an exhalation and a sigh. Good. And let your hands go to wherever they'll be comfortable and bring your attention back to the screen. Well done. Well done. So what's happening here is that we are showing ourselves that we can control our physiology. We can use certain thoughts and certain actions that help to down-regulate the fear response of fight, flight, or freeze, which is how we usually react to stress. What we're doing is we're using our body's ability to think and soothe itself in a way that leads to greater calm, the opposite of stress. It's a marvelous tool, and I'm so glad that you're practicing it. Okay, so what we've focused on so far has to do with our experience. But here, for the next step, called share, we're turning outwards towards the world, towards people that are friends or supporters. Here's the thing. I want you to be able to share your experience of stress without expecting the other person to rescue you or make it all better or make the stress go away. You're simply telling this other person that you are having a hard time. That willingness, A, to be vulnerable, B, to reach out, gives you a reminder that you are not alone. So much of the time when we feel stressed, we end up withdrawing and disconnecting from society, from our friends, from our support. This is moving in the exact opposite direction. There's power in your willingness to be bigger through community than your individual experience. And lastly, most of the time, when others reach out to us in a vulnerable state, we tend to respond with warmth and support and encouragement. Not that we can do much about the situation that causes the stress, but we can be helpful in terms of how other people are experiencing stress. So when people reach out to us from a vulnerable place and we respond with kindness, it just might happen in reverse, that when we reach out while in vulnerability, they respond with kindness. So we're on to the last step, good quality sleep. It is, for me at least, one of the most powerful medicines I have. I end up waking with more energy. Often I wake up with a sense of new possibilities that I didn't have the night before. I'm not saying the situation changed, I'm saying I changed. And sleep is one of the magic elixirs in terms of behavior that can make a world of difference to how we experience stress. So, finding good quality sleep, deliberately creating conditions that allow for sleep or foster good sleep is what I'm talking about. There are some drugs that are helpful for sleep, and there are other drugs that make you sleep, but they're not really helpful because it misses the parts of the sleep cycle that are most conducive to your health. So pay attention to the ways that you get to sleep and aim for the least harmful and the most healthy. All right, so there's your 5. To review, there's scan, simplify, soothe, share, sleep. Please let us know if you have other strategies to deal with stress, and would you share them so we can benefit too. Thank you for joining us today. Bye for now.